What's up, guys? Today I want to give you a quick update of one of our landscaping projects over at Boss PDX. If you need anything from retaining walls, lighting, turf installation, plant selection, irrigation, drainage, and anything in between, give us a call. Let's show you what we've been working on over here. We have this lighting installation, rough wire, rough grade. We're going to come back and fill this in with a little bit more material, but all this lighting has been dry run and works great. Looks pretty good at night. We'll check this out as well. We have 2 more lights installed out here and on the other side up front. We ran our landscape wire underneath the gravel here. Doesn't need to be buried too much. Look, you can see it coming out right here. So this wire is very, very low voltage. You can put on these relatively cheap and affordable connections right here that allow you to splice in other wire and add more and more circuits as you go. So we ran this wire all the way along here. We got some can lights along the front of the wall. When we put the can lights like this really close, this point right here will cast a shadow, and it gives it a much more dramatic look than if the light was further back aimed directly at the subject. So to set up landscape lights, you really need to have a different type of power. You can't just use 120 volt like you'd have in your house. So this is a normal outlet coming out from the house, GFI at 120 volts. It powers this transformer that spits out only 12 volts. So it creates this low voltage wire that you can string up all your lights. This transformer I got on Amazon, wasn't too expensive, and it has a 300 watt capacity. So if you think about each light might be 5 watts, well, you could put 65 watt lights on this transformer. So for relatively cheap, you can light up a large space. 60 lights is a lot of lights. The other thing to notice is this little photocell. So this little dot right here will sense sunlight, and it won't run the lights, it won't send any power down the line when the sun's out. And then you can do a little program here. This number is 5. That stands for how many hours this system will be on after the sun goes down. So say the sun goes down at 8, the system kicks in at 8, this will stay on for an additional 5 hours after 8. Maybe 5 years ago, this was like a complicated multi-part situation. Now you can just buy this piece on Amazon, plug it in, stick your wires in, and you're good to go. I guess, to be fair, let me show you the bottom. There's really not much to it. I only have 2 hot lines coming out of the 12 volt, each returning into this common return. So that just makes 2 circuits. I have 2 wires coming out. One goes to one part of the house, the other goes to the other. Super easy to install, really, really low risk. At 12 volts, it's not that you wouldn't feel it, it just wouldn't bother you to get electrocuted at 12 volts. So if you check it out, here's our landscape wire that we are running around this whole project. Just to give you guys a quick tip, if you are going to be burying landscape wire, you don't want to have to try to remember where it is. So for this project, we're making sure we keep it next to the edging everywhere so that if we ever need to access it, we know exactly where to get it and it's out of the way. You don't want to just run it willy-nilly down the middle, because you'll go to put in a plant or somebody will forget with a shovel and you'll end up cutting. So right here, we know that we're going to put in another light. There's going to be a pathway light. So in burying the wire, we left a loop so we can access this later. You don't want to end up needing some extra here, and when you pull it, you undo all your hard work down the line in either direction. So you leave yourself a little slack so that when the light goes in, you can access it. And this is actually where our line terminates, and we actually have one of these lights exposed. So as you can see here, one of these waterproof connectors, it's very, very easy to establish. You don't need to do any crazy twisting. The light will provide you with these 2 ends. You just attach a connector, plug your light in, and you're good to go.